All right. Hey, welcome to the Thai session again. Thank you for tuning in. If you are new here, this is where we answer questions that you have asked throughout either different social media platforms, people in person asking me questions, or anything. Y'all here in the comments, community building, anything. So we are unscripted, just talking events of the world and answering your questions and also just insightful tips and things that I think of to share with you all. And today's insight, I think, is going to be really useful to a lot of people because I've been having a lot of conversations with a lot of people, especially as I've taught them the BYOB and the BYOCB and the incorporation of doing these things while also, still having the responsibilities that you have. You got your bills, you got, your livelihood, just jobs or anything else that you got going on. It's difficult. Inflation is making things expensive. Stock market's going up and down, and depending on what you're in, AI is enhancing jobs. I will say it technically can replace some, but it also is really going to enhance others. And throughout this transitional mix, there's a whole lot of confusion, right? And so people ask me a lot of questions. What do I think about these things? What do I look at what am I looking and finding when it comes to my research? How could it help? Is it a threat? Simple answer that I can think of for you when it comes to all this stuff is like, all right, things are happening. A lot is going to go on in the world around you. And I understand that it can be very easy to focus your attention on the thing that sounds the loudest, on the thing that seems like it's the most imminent. Oftentimes, we put our attention on where people or things direct our attention to go. And when you direct your attention on that and you're focused on what they want you to focus on, you're not focused on creating the best result for yourself. And so, yes, this is a simple answer to when it comes to all these technological advances, you have to look at how it helps enhance you in your personal goals. Don't look at what it can like I'm not saying don't. I'm not going to limit you. Do what you feel you have to do. But don't necessarily limit yourself to say, "All right, this is new stuff. I can't keep up. This is new stuff. It's not useful to me. This is new stuff. It's dangerous." Look into it, research, study, educate yourself so then you can make informed decisions. A lot of the times, and this is what's insane about this, anything could be dangerous, right? Like driving a car is dangerous. A lot of things could happen driving a car. Your brakes could fail. Could. You're driving on the road and a sinkhole appears as you're driving. A lot of things could happen. And we see it in videos. So it's not like these things don't happen. It just is not that likely. And a lot of people, when it comes to their goals, they focus their attention on things that are not likely to happen, but could happen. And because of that, they don't take action, right? And so it's simple. When it comes to your goals, decide what it is that you want, but then you have to make a game plan and you have to revisit that game plan all the time. That's why I say the second step is make a plan, right? But the plan has to be looked at often. And this is where a lot of people fall off often that I see even in today. Like I'm having these conversations with a lot of people and when it comes to their plan, it's either not detailed enough or not big enough, right? When it comes to big goals, you have to set small goals to achieve them. You have to break down your bigger goals so that way then you can actually do small things, checking off the checklist, building momentum towards the bigger thing. And so I have these gigantic goals, but along the way, then there's checkpoints. Those checkpoints, I could literally also create a solution that jumps myself from this point right now in time to that point in time, skipping all of the actions that I'd have to technically do from right now to that point if I made a very particular plan that said and yielded the results that I plan and need, right? If I literally use my mind, I can think about the things that I need and I can think about how I can get the things that I need in exchange for serving others. And then I can go about finding the people that I need to serve. And then the result as the byproduct is the thing that I put mental energy in towards. So time is nothing more than understanding what the game plan is. If you have a game plan, then it's a linear timeline. And in that linear timeline, you can fast forward because some things are financial goals. Maybe you just borrow or get an influx of capital, cash, resources, or anything that allows you to then automatically do a thing that looked like it was 6 months to a year, 10 years, or so on out because you didn't have those resources at the time of when you made the plan. These things, these very basic concepts of making a game plan is complex because the better game plans include a lot of dynamics. You can get very detailed, but it also in that detail, it's only like step one. And then you zoom out, and to get to step two, there's a very super detailed method to then get there. And then the same thing and same thing as you go. So like your game plan can be super elaborate, or you can just have a very basic game plan that tells you where you are right now, where you want to be, the obstacles that you feel are stopping you from getting there. So the roadblocks along the way. And then because of those roadblocks existence, do you know how to overcome those roadblocks or do you not? Because the roadblock exists, now there is a solution to solve for that thing. If you put mental energy towards solving your problem, you can come up with the problem to solve it. And so now nothing more than putting time, effort, and energy into any problem that you have is the only thing you need to do. And then make a game plan and do the thing you freaking plan to do, right? So like that's why it's super empowering. Your game plans are everything. If you don't have a plan, you have nothing. You're planning to fail if you don't plan to succeed. As a byproduct of not having a plan, you're literally planning to fail because you have no idea what steps you need to take to then advance you towards the next thing. Or you might know the steps, but you don't know what linear approach they need to connect or anything. Or you have everything you need right now, but then you never put a game plan in action to figure out that the fact that you already had the resources and everything, you just needed to then do something, right? If you don't have a game plan, you have nothing. So you need a game plan. If you need help building your game plan, I can help with that. And our community can help with that. So you can join our Discord. You can join and ask people in the comments down below. You can ask me comments. You have questions on how do I formulate my game plan better? Let me know. What questions do y'all have? And we can solve these things together as a community. You know what I'm saying? Very basic. Also, it's not sponsored, but y'all ever had killer not killer. This is killer cola flavor, but the liquid death? Yo, man. It's actually pretty fire. Oh yeah. Murdered my thirst. Um, if they want to sponsor me, I would not be opposed. But anyway, game plan. So like a game plan for this is like when it came to talent to income, I realized that your talent can take you so far, right? I used my talents to get me to a certain point, in which then I could build a business and not be selling myself as a job, right? So you become the person who's self-fulfilling the job and all the things. Then you become the person who's in delegation mode. So that was the game plan, get and level up. So then that way I free my time. Ultimately, time is the variable that we all need. Time is the thing that you get back when you retire. So retirement is not an age, it's a financial formula, or a formula that allows you to no longer have to work for the income coming in. You've refinanced your life. Where the income's coming from, it's coming from somewhere else, not your labor. And so with that concept, very base, that I've like over time started to conceptualize and figure out as I just like was doing the things, being an entrepreneur, like working and like having the 5 jobs at once, and then figuring out that based on my talent and the skill and the thing that I was doing at the specific job, I earned different amounts of money. And then because of that concept, I then was like, okay, let me just start to go into business for myself, selling websites, doing all these ads and stuff like that, while also on the side, DoorDash, listening to audiobooks at night while I'm dashing and delivering this food. So then your car becomes like a college on wheels. So then you can actually in real time also apply the things that you're learning and get real time feedback, so you can level up. And then like the sky is not the limit. Someone told you it was and you believe them, right? So literally break all of your paradigms by taking the time that you would have been either say if you were in, I'm not dissing college when I say the things that I say. And oftentimes there's so many polarized thought pools out there in the world already that make it seem like I fit into that niche, but I don't. The niche is this. It's like if you are a very specialized, you're a specialized worker of some type, such as a lawyer, which even that in its case, with AI's help, is getting enhanced. It's changing a bit, right? A doctor, um, police officer, even, firefighter. It's a very specialized thing because, well, you wouldn't have to go to college to be a firefighter. You would just need to at least have a specialized course that you went through that taught you the skills. And that's what college is for the most part. It is a specialized set education course to teach you skills. But some places you can get a lot of those skills on the job. And you could be a novice, or you could be a intern or something like that, and get real life on the job experience while also learning, because the companies themselves could have trainings and things already. Because mind you, reality is you get the degree, maybe time goes by, you might use it, you might not, time goes by, you're still a certified person, right? But time is still going by, the deltas that we talked about in the previous tie session. Advancements happen. So then these companies create training sessions to update their employees on the latest changes and the technological advancements. So even the person with a degree, back when he got it, coming in to get this job, has to learn new things. So jobs can teach you a lot of things that you need to know, but it's just a matter of us changing our thinking on how or why or what roles specifically need college education. And then, for the most part, as long as you can communicate your ideas and you know standard math, a language art, can read, um, and have morals, uh, you can probably figure out a lot of things in this world, because it's not that difficult. It's difficult when we don't recognize the power we have to have impact on our world, but it's not when you take that empowerment and then you build a game plan based on the things that you now have, right? It might suck. You might have accidentally set yourself up in a very upside down situation. You might have debt up to your neck. But if you don't have a game plan to solve your debt problem situation, you're just drowning. You're not ever figuring out that I have to somehow at some point stop panicking and start tackling it. I learned back even in my high school days, I took a personal finance course. And that course, we had Dave Ramsey videos. Dave Ramsey talks about having these different systems and methods for different goals, right? So you have the envelope method. So your bills, you could have your rent, electric bill, phone bill, set an envelope aside, and then have cash you put in those envelopes. You could modernize this and just have a checking account that has a label for bills, and then you set what I conceptualize as the minimum bank account balance, and it is the amount of all of my bills totaled up in that account. So then I know at the end of a month, I need to have that number in there because my bills for the next month are going to start hitting, right? So minimum bank account balance concept continues to just be a great powered like system that I use. Let's see what else. When it comes to your talent, as long as you realize how it works, I'm not saying go build houses in the woods and then say, oh, hey, look, I built homes. They didn't fall apart. And the first storm happens and they all come crumbling down. And prior to that, you start selling these homes, right? Not saying that. They're, again, building a house, specialized skill. Probably some specialized courses you should go through. Not necessarily saying you gotta 100% go through college, saying that there is a specialized course that you could go through. College might be nice for that because you got to learn some math. So then there's that foundation of information that you do need. So that might be one of those, like a doctor. But then there's, again, just in general, you want to be a trainer, you want to be a nutritionist, you want to be some kind of driver, either a truck driver, delivery driver, person transport driver, like a lot of these things, a chef, obviously you go to culinary school, but that's more or less, again, a specialized place in which you're going to probably learn specialized flavors or combinations of things. You're probably going to learn a lot of these things along your lifetime. If you go to, let's just say you were a person who was very interested in learning different cooking arts. So then you just learn these things over time. So then that way you could open up a business, and sell your foods. It's crazy. Business degrees. And a lot of the times the teachers teaching the business don't have the degree. I mean, they have the degree, but they don't have a business. Like, it's like you have the skill and the knowledge and the know-how, but you don't have the thing that you're teaching me to do. Why would you go and, again, it's interesting because a lot of these businesses are specific to itself. Like, as long as you know your accounting, and then you could hire an accountant. As long as you know marketing, and then you could hire a marketer. As long as you know basic things about your business, and then legal sides, and you could hire a legal agent. Like, the business degree is quite interesting because it's just like, hey, this degree signifies that we taught you that you can use the resources that you have around you and create something. And in creating that something, it may create positive cash flow for you, being a good business, or if you are spending more than you are earning, you are creating a negative cash flow from the business, i.e., a debt for you. So it's fun. It's fun. Um, what's I going? Again, game plan being the biggest thing. Like the whole thing with the talent to income, when I started to have all these different like clients and stuff who'd have different talents, the framework is all the same though. How does it work is about the same. Um, you still got to go and do your prospecting. You got to have a fulfillment side. You got to follow up if you want reoccurring customers and a good experience. Uh, and from that, pretty much, well, I think I made a video on this before. It's the LSDs of sales. People don't like this when I say it, but LSD of sale, LSD of sales. It's like leads, your lead gen. You gotta generate the lead. Um, your sales. So now that you've generated the lead, you have to close them. You have to actually have sales. And then deliverables, the fulfillment of the service, right? So as long as you're generating leads and in this new digital age, we have content to do that. You could have closers. Now that you've generated a lead, someone who's interested in your thing, it could be automation, AI. See, again, enhanced business opportunity here. AI for that. Um, could be people. Well, again, now with AI, it has the ability to answer phone calls and do bookings and things like that for you. So you could literally have an AI assistant that sets bookings for you. So then all you do is look at your calendar and do the thing that the AI assistant set up for you. So if you had a bunch of bookings come through, there you have it. Um, Again, enhanced business opportunity. You just start closing those sales or like doing the fulfillment or whatever you got to do from it. That's the LSDs of sales. Let's see, what else do we got to do? I believe that's about it, to be honest, because I didn't write any notes for today's. I just had a pen out and I was like, I might write some things down, but I did not. Um, Comments. We will have a video dedicated to more of the comments that we do have. They are more tailored to crypto. So we'll make a crypto specific video for sure as we come to the next ones. Uh Let me know what y'all think. Hey, well, thank you again for tuning in to this Thai session. We shall see you in the next one. Make yourself a priority.